Hey everyone, this is Ian Carlin thanking you for joining me today on A Mind for Fitness, where we talk about the issues regarding health, weight loss, exercise, mental fortitude, all those things which are going to keep you working towards your weight loss goals. And if you've achieved those weight loss goals, well, we don't want to see you slip back into old habits. We want to see you maintain those weight loss goals. And that's where we come in, or at least I'd like to think that's a part of a role that we play in your life. As I've said many times in the program, listening to podcasts on health and fitness and all that stuff has kept me going. It's been part of what I need to draw my strength. To face the day, to say this is a new day, and each meal's a new meal, and each day's a new challenge, and sometimes the challenges are the same old challenges you face every day, and sometimes the challenges are new and unique, and you need that boost. And so that's what I hope this program does for you by talking about the issues, just kind of keeping those things in your head, keeping you reminded of the importance of health and fitness in your life. So we are on a series today based on a book that I have written. It's going to be my second book on weight loss. And the first little booklet that I did on weight loss was called Fasting to Break Your Plateau, A Beginner's Guide to Intermittent Fasting. And if you'd like to check that out, it's on Amazon. It's free if you're an Amazon Prime user. And if you're not an Amazon Prime user, it's only $2.99. And it's a great way to support the program. If you like what you see, if you like it, if you like what you hear, and you want to support, you want to know a little bit more about intermittent fasting, maybe you got some pounds to lose, and you're looking for intermittent fasting to be part of that. This isn't a show, by the way, just about intermittent fasting. This is a show about low carb in general, about ketosis, about paleo, about basically the hormonal theory behind weight loss and exercise. And really a big portion of the program is getting your mind under control so that you can not fail on your diet. And so this book was something that I started writing many years ago, and it was I had no title for it, and I still am not settled on a title, but I'm almost done with it. But about 3 years ago, maybe even 4 years ago now, I started on this book, be, and it was going to be called Why Diets Fail, or 10 Reasons Why Diets Fail, or something like that. And I had started losing weight and started collecting some clients. And the big deal for me was to write something that I knew about. And I really didn't know much about health and fitness at the time, but I certainly knew why diets went wrong, because I was an expert at my own personal failure and what it would take to get to correct that. So that's kind of where it went. But then everything kind of changed, and I started thinking about new things, and I had written this book, kind of a lot of it anyway. So if you listen to older episodes, I talk about it. Well, I decided to go ahead and just release it as an ebook. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put 3 ebooks together into one book and actually be a paperback book, because I know some people like paperback book. And I am working on it. I am very close to done. I've actually written the body of the material. I just need to kind of write an introduction to it. And it's proving to be a little bit more difficult than I thought. But what I'm doing here over the next few sessions is I'm going through the book. And I did that with my last book, Fasting to Break Your Plateau, and then I put it out on Amazon for free because, the idea is really, would I like to sell a million billion copies and, retire to the Bahamas and quit my job and all that stuff? Yeah, of course I would. But, we want the content to be free. And so, that's why I'm going through it. And not everybody's going to read it, but you could listen to it, in your car or wherever you listen to podcasts, while you're working out or whatever you're doing. So we've gone through about 4 of these, why your diet is failing and what you can do to fix it. And today we're going to go through 2 more of these, why your diet is failing and what you can do to fix it. Okay. So 2 more, and these 2 are really important. And it is also important to understand that, as I have written this book, and as I'm presenting this material on why diets fail, and what you can do to fix it, it's not like it's a hierarchy of, this one's first, this one's second, this one's third. This is what I've seen most. This is it. I wrote these as they kind of occurred to me, and some of them are going to resonate with you more. Maybe the first one is going to resonate with you the most, and then the second one is going to resonate with you least, or something like that. It's not really in any type of particular order, biographical order, or importance order, or anything like that. It's just a collection of thoughts on why diets fail. And so here are two more reasons why your diet is failing and what you can do to fix it. And here I am having a nice sip of coffee. All right. So why is your diet failing? Part 3. One of the biggest reasons that I've seen people fail on their diets, and I've experienced this personally, like with all of these, I've experienced these, and that is not having clearly defined goals. Now, not having clearly defined goals can hinder your pursuit of fat loss. The reason for this is that those who do not have clearly defined goals lack external direction. Or to put it in positive terms, goals gives you an objective standard by which you can measure your success. To illustrate this, let's assume we have two people. We have Joe B, who does not set goals, and Jane B, who has set down a set of goals. And might I remind you that they're realistic goals, because one of the reasons why diets fail that we already talked about was your goals being unrealistic. So let's just assume they're realistic goals for now. But let's talk about Joe B first. So Joe B is unsatisfied with his weight. One day he decides that he has had enough. He looks in the mirror and says to himself, I need to lose a few pounds. He exercises for a while and eats healthy for a while, and as a result, he loses weight. Joe now has not lost all the weight that he needed in order to be healthy or even to reach his goal weight. However, he has lost enough weight to feel better about himself. Now, because he feels better about himself, he begins to make a few compromises in his diet. He skips a workout here and there. He eats things he shouldn't. Now, do I even need to finish where this is going, or can you identify with this, as can I? Joe just basically goes back to where he started. Now, Jane is also unsatisfied with the way she looks. She realizes that she is unhealthy and needs to lose weight. She concludes that she needs to lose about 50 pounds. Jane takes out a sheet of paper and writes down the precise amount of weight that she would like to lose. She also gives herself a 3-month deadline. In addition, she puts these goals where she can see them every morning. She works out and eats healthy. Just like Joe, she begins to lose weight and feel better about herself. However, even though she is feeling better about herself, she has not reached her desired goal. Now, because she has an external criterion by which she can measure her weight loss, she does not cheat on her diet. So even though she feels better, she can look at the piece of paper and say, oh, well, I need to lose 50 pounds. I've only lost 20. So she doesn't cheat because she has this external thing that's happening, this external piece of paper or this external goal. I need to lose 50 pounds, not just I need to lose a few pounds. She also continues a regimented workout routine, and at the end of 3 months, she steps on the scale with confidence. Now, will she lose all the weight she needed? Well, she might not. However, she is going to be much closer in her health goals than if she had not written them down at all. So what went wrong with Joe? Well, it's easy to see what went right with Jane, okay? She's got goals. She wrote them down. They're realistic. She put them in bite-sized pieces. She put them in a place where she can see them. Now, Joe, however, needs some further explanation. The problem in Joe's case is ambiguity. Okay, ambiguity. What does a few pounds mean? Is it 10? Is it 100? What does it mean? Sadly, no one knows, including Joe. Therefore, Joe has no measure, uh, of when he could lax off. He has no external measure based on. It was just based on how he felt. So, if he felt a little bit better, then he felt like, well, he could cheat a little bit more. Feelings are very important, but they can be misleading. Okay. So now you can see the problem. What can you do to fix it? Now, make sure your goals are specific, and we've done workshops on goals before. Make sure your goals are specific and you write them down. If you need to lose 50 pounds, write down 50 pounds. Another thing that helps is giving yourself a deadline. Be specific. Don't say in a few months. Just be as specific about your deadline as you are about your goals. Write them down and say, I want to lose X amount of weight in X amount of months. And write it down on a calendar. Get yourself a calendar and write the days off. Another thing that helps is to put these goals in a place where you can see them every morning. In the past, I have kept them on my mirror. Okay. So that if I have a weight loss goal, I have kept it on my mirror, and that way, I'm reminded of it like every morning when I'm brushing my teeth and every evening before I go to bed. So I'm reminded of my goals. And then another thing you can do is you can write them down. Okay, or not write them down, read them out loud. I just said that, write them down. So yeah, another thing you do is read them out loud in the morning, and then read them out loud before you go to bed. Now, does having these goals written down automatically, give you 100% success? Well, no, but I will guarantee you that if you have them written down and you do this, you're going to be closer to your goal weight than if you hadn't. On average, of course, there's always the outliers. I'm just speaking on average here. So do that, but also don't be afraid to readjust your goals as you go along. When I first decided to lose weight, I really, really, truly, honestly believed that I only needed to lose about 50 pounds. I really believed that I was big boned and I, had lots of muscle on me and typical endomorph body type. And if I just lost 50 pounds, that would be everything that I would need. Okay. But it wasn't true. I got down 50 pounds, I got to 250, and I realized that I could lose a lot more. So don't be afraid to readjust your goals. When you reach them, you might find that you have other goals. You might even find that you have goals that aren't necessarily related to weight loss, but related to health in some other areas. So you might lose all the weight you want, but you might say, you know what, I want to do a bodybuilding competition, or I want to do a marathon or a half marathon or something like that. So don't be afraid to readjust your goals as you get closer to them, and as you achieve them, and as you surpass them. You'll have other goals. Continue to set goals. All right, so that's the first one. What's the second one for today? The second one for today is not having a plan. Okay, that's the second one. Another problem that will keep those unwanted pounds on your body is not having a clearly defined defined plan on how to get rid of them. Now, this is closely related to not having clearly defined goals. In fact, the two usually go hand in hand. That is to say, that normally those who do not have clearly defined goals also do not have a clearly defined plan. However, you can still have clearly defined goals and fail at having a way to achieve them. So they're together, but there's a distinguishment. Usually it's you can make a distinguishment without making a separation. That's what we're doing here, and that's why it's a different thing. But they run together. Okay, they run together. Not having clearly defined goals normally means you don't have a clearly defined plan. Those who normally have clearly defined goals have normally clearly defined the plan. So that's what we're going to talk about here. Now, often the problem emerges with this not clearly defined plan when the person needs to lose weight and says something to himself like this. You look at yourself, you're like, oh, I need to lose weight. And you're just like, I just need to eat healthier. The problem with the statement is that it's practically meaningless. What is healthier? Is it one more salad a day? Is it one less piece of pie after dinner? Uh, there's no way a person who engages in this type of reasoning will succeed at losing weight. Not only is it too ambiguous, it is also shows a lack of commitment. Okay, so you don't know what's healthier, right? So you're sitting there like, you're overweight and you're like, oh, normally I eat 2 pieces of cake after dinner. And you know what, today I'm just going to have one dessert after dinner. I'm going to eat 3 meals a day, burger and fries, and maybe I'll skip breakfast, and maybe I'll have burgers and fries at lunch. Maybe I'll eat. Well, I mean, did you eat healthier? Well, yeah. Did you eat healthier enough um, to um, uh, to make a difference? No. Some people are like, well, I need to go on a low carb diet. Well, what's a low carb diet? Is it one more salad? Sometimes people think that a low carb diet is one low carb meal a day, and then the rest of the day you just kind of blow it. Well, that's not going to help you. It's too ambiguous. You have to be precise if you want to lose weight. Now, another ambiguous statement that's kind of related to the last one is, I'll just exercise more. Again, what does more mean? Is it one more day at the gym? Is it running an extra 15 minutes a day? The truth is it could be anything. It could be anything. It's not hard to see why people fall into this trap and never lose weight, at least not the weight that they want. And for a lot of people, they don't lose weight at all because they don't have a plan. They say, oh, I just need to eat healthier. Oh, I just need to exercise more. But those things are meaningless. They don't, it doesn't mean anything. And generally, unless you have a plan, you go on autopilot. And that's the truth of the matter, is you go on autopilot. You normally go about your day doing the same thing. If you stop at McDonald's before you go to work and get, a breakfast egg McMuffin sandwich, you will do that if you don't have a plan. If you don't have a plan that says, this is what I eat for breakfast, this is what I eat for lunch, this is what I eat for dinner, or you're an intermittent fasting plan or a low carb plan or a 6 meal a day plan. If you don't have a plan, what will happen is normally, like, the first day you'll be like, well, you know what, I'll have the salad for lunch. And then you have the salad, and then the next day you totally forget about it and you have what you normally have, the burger and fries or whatever. So don't do that, because you go on autopilot if you don't have a plan. So you got to choose a plan. So like your goals, your plan needs to be specific, and it needs to have 2 essential elements. The first is an eating plan. Now, this book is not intended, and this course lecture is not intended to give you a detailed diet plan. However, as you can probably guess, I favor, if you've been a fan of the program, a paleo-friendly, low-carb lifestyle, also punctuated by intermittent fasting whenever you can. In my opinion, there are 2 things that make you fat in the first place, that are preventing you from losing weight, your weight. And the first is too many carbohydrates in general, and the second is processed foods, and particularly processed carbohydrates. There are many books out there that follow this model. Pick one and stick to it, okay? So I don't recommend the theory, and I'm giving you an example here of a plan that you can pick. I'm looking at my bookshelf and I can see tons of diets up there that just pick one and go with it. But pick one that's based on the hormonal belief about weight loss and not the calorie myth about weight loss. So, I mean, the Bulletproof Diet's a great one. The wild diet's a great one. Even an Atkins diet, for a starter, is a great one. Um, I Can Make You Thin by Paul McKenna is a great one. There's so many out there. The hormone reset diet. Pick one. Go to the bookstore and pick a diet. And the same is, with the weight loss. When it comes to weight loss, it's been said, and I believe this, that you know 70 to 80% comes from diet and 20 to 30% comes from exercise, but you need both. So you can get to your goal weight within 20% if you just diet alone, but you need to work out too if you want to make it all the way there and get the body that you desire. But there are lots of, so what do you do for weight loss? Well, there are lots of apps. What I did was P90X, and that's a great one. That's a great one. Just go to the gym, take some classes, do something. Say, I'm going to do. Look at the gym classes, and you look at your schedule and say, oh, I'm going to make it to yoga, and then I'm going to make it to weight training, and then I'm going to make it to cardio. So pick something that you'll be dedicated to. And if you do, you'll get the results you want. So those are the two reasons why your diet is failing and what you can do to fix it. Not having a clearly defined goal, and then not having a clearly defined plan. And how do you fix it? Well, you get yourself a clearly defined goal and a clearly defined plan. So that's it for today. Thank you. If you enjoyed this, you know what to do. Please share this on your favorite social media. And if you're interested in following me as I try to lose my last 10 pounds, go to YouTube and subscribe, because I do this, weekly weight loss update and what I'm doing to narrow things out and get me down to really where I want to be. Um, and and you can follow me on Instagram. That's where I post all my workouts, what I'm doing, and what I'm eating. So I take a picture of it and then I eat it so that you know what I'm eating. So I'm staying accountable, and what my plan is. So anyway, if you liked it, please share this on your favorite social media. Write us a review in iTunes. It always helps. And thank you for joining me today on the program. And until we meet again, please keep your mind on fitness.